28,000 naira, right? So I've made about 100 and something thousand as profit. I placed another buy. I'm still targeting that resistance on 1 hour, right? I'm still targeting it. So that untested resistance is my target, right? So there's another buy. You can see I'm in profit again. My trading. Hello everyone. Welcome to Live Trade Videos, your one-stop YouTube channel for everything about e-trading, the currencies market, the indices market, and the commodities market. Now today I want to take you on, just want to show you what I basically did for the NFP that came out on the 3rd of November. So I'm just going to run through it fast, and then you see how I went about making some money from it. Okay, so what happened here was we had to set like limits, right? Pending orders, buy stop and sell stop. Now I had to set it on the 1 minute time frame. I had to set on the 1 minute time frame, then use a trailing stop. Set on 1 minute time frame, use a trailing stop, right? So you can see I set it the buy stop, use the trailing stop, because I didn't use a stop loss, because during when the news comes out, price tends to move very fast, so there's really no time for a stop loss, right? So I kind of set it around some minutes to the time, right? I also made sure that my spread was showing, my bid and ask price was showing, so that my entry does not trigger before the news comes out. And then what I started doing next was to I put on one-click trading, so that as I'm moving my sell stop and my buy stop, it is moving immediately. I don't want to see any dialog box while I'm doing it, right? So I kept shifting my sell stop and my buy stop, right? I also set like a range. Like if you look at where I put those two black horizontal lines, that was like the range. So whatever pending orders I'm setting has to be outside that range, because I'm expecting a high impact in about 2 minutes. So I was not expecting price to move much, right? Because every traders are just basically waiting for 1:30 p.m. to place their order. So I knew that that's what was happening. So I was I placed my pending orders above and below that particular region, and I did it on the 1 minute time frame. The 1 minute time frame is what I use, right? So I kind of placed it a bit far, right? So once it's getting towards 1:30, I begin to draw it close. I shift my buy stop upwards. I keep moving the buy stop and the sell stop, so that it does not get triggered before the time. This was NFP, which was coming up by 1:30. So if that time, because that will not be good. So you want to keep moving it down. You can see how I moved my sell stop downwards. Price was acting as if it was now. See what happened. If I had not moved my sell stop downwards, I would have been caught up in this trade even before the news comes out. Now look at the news is out now. It's 1:30, and now my buy stop has been triggered. It hit my trailing stop and it has closed. I think it closed with a 9,000 naira profit. Now I had already checked my forex factory, and I saw that the news was negative for the US dollar. So I knew that in the US 100 was going to buy, right? So what I was doing right now was to scalp, right? So I kept scalping and scalping and scalping. And then I had gone to the 1 hour time frame to set a resistance where I was expecting the buy to at least get to before there's any kind of little retracement. So I kept scalping, as you can see, from 148. Now it's at 210. Now look at what I did here in the 1 hour time frame, where I set my my resistance, right? So that was where I was targeting. I was targeting that resistance area, right? That was where I was actually targeting. So I kept scalping and scalping and scalping. Not much, So I placed another buy. Now I'm on minus 40 something thousand, but I did not close the trade because, like I said, I had already checked Forex Factory and I saw that the news that came out was negative for the US dollar, right? So even though I was on a drawdown of here, I allowed it. I didn't close the trade because I was expecting price to still keep to go up at least to that untested resistance, right? As you can see, I'm in profit now, right? So I think after a while I closed this trade. So let's see what's going on. So I had already closed the trade. I'm on 115,000 naira profit. I placed another buy. You can see now I'm up 263,000. Remember, I placed this trade with 148,000 naira, right? So I've made about 100 and something thousand as profit. I placed another buy. I'm still targeting that resistance on 1 hour, right? I'm still targeting it. So that untested resistance is my target, right? So there's another bar. You can see I'm in profit again. My trading stop has also helped me to secure the profit. Now I'm on 369. Okay, I placed another buy, still in profit again, closed it, placed another one. Like I said, I was targeting the untested resistance. I was targeting the untested resistance. So I placed another buy. I'm on a drawdown currently. But I'm not phased. Although I was a little bit worried because the drawdown kept increasing, but I knew I didn't want a situation where I'll close the trade and then you know um later find that the trade still went up. I knew it was going to still go up. So the thing here is, when you're on a drawdown, the question is if you can cope with the amount with respect to the drawdown amount, right? Knowing fully well that that price might still, go up. So the question is, as if I'm seeing it minus 120,000, am I okay with it? Can I cope with it? So like I said, I knew that price was going to still get to that untested resistance. So I was okay with the drawdown, even though I was a little bit worried because I had already made profit and I didn't want to, start losing all the money I had made already, right? So um I just waited basically. So I just waited for the price to go up, right? So that's basically what I was doing here. This was like the waiting stage here. Yeah, we are still waiting, basically still waiting. You can see the drawdown is reducing from 100 and something. It's now, it went all the way to minus 30 something. It's going back up. Now, another thing I try to do is to look at this trade from a higher time frame. If I was looking at this trade from, let's say, 5 minutes or 1 minute, I might have closed it because, you know, on 5 minutes or 1 minute, it might be showing you a very big bearish candle coming down. So I used 1 hour to look at the bigger picture so that to tell me, okay, this is actually what is really happening in the from the bigger picture. If I was looking at it from the 1 minute time frame or from the 5 minutes time frame, I would not have been able to, probably would have closed the trade. So the higher time frames are important. It helps us know like what is really happening, not what is happening in just a small pocket of time, but what is happening overall, right? So that is basically why I was on the 1 hour time frame. I didn't want to go and start looking at this trade from the 5 minutes or 1 minute time frame. Now look at what's happening here on the 1 hour time frame. You can see that there's a small pullback in price. If I was to go to 1 minute and look at that pullback, you see that you have like a big bearish candles right? So, like I said, I did not want to go back to that time frame, but I think I went back. I went back at some point to see what was going on, but even though I saw what was going on the 1 minute time frame, my decision to stay on this trade was influenced by the fact that on the 1 hour time frame, I knew that price should get to that untested what resistance and even probably go higher from there. Okay, that is basically why I'm still on this trade, right? I had made about 371 minus 148, about maybe 150 something thousand or even more than that, right? And see, my drawdown is about 120,000. But like I said, I was still in the trade. I was still in the what? In the trade. I stayed with it. I stayed with it. I did not close the trade. Why? Because I had checked Forex Factory and I saw that all the NFP reports, everything came out negative for the dollar. So I was definitely expecting indices to buy, right? US 100, US 30, US 500. I was expecting them to buy, right? So this pullback is just temporary, right? I expect that it will just continue going up. Basically, that was what I was expecting, that to keep going up. So even though I was on a pullback of minus 100 and something thousand naira, I still stayed. So one thing we must try to understand is, you must, when you're on a drawdown, the question you should ask yourself is, on this drawdown, um how much drawdown can I tolerate? That's one question you should ask yourself. How much drawdown can I what tolerate? Right? If you cannot tolerate, your drawdown tolerance is very important, because some people, once they're on a trade and they see minus 5,000, they close the trade. That means you just gave up easily on the trade, which, if you keep doing that, you might not really see, you just keep having losing trades. You keep losing trades, right? So you can see the amount of time I stayed with this drawdown. I stayed for a very, not for a very long time, for a while, right? Kept bouncing up from minus 39 all the way to minus 140. You even went over 200, right? That's why it's always good to have, substantial capital when you're trading. If you have good capital, you can manage the drawdowns as well. Now the drawdown is reducing again. It's reducing. It's coming back. It's reducing, right? So this is where I went to the 5 minute time frame. You can see that on the 5 minute time frame, there's like a bearish candle, but on the 1 hour time frame, it's still bullish. Although there's a pullback, right? But I still expect the price to still go up. Still expect price to go up. So that is why I'm still sticking with the trade. That's why I'm still sticking with it. So like I said earlier, I set my buy stop, set my sell stop. I put on one click trading, went to the 1 minute time frame, set up my buy stop and my sell stop above a range, right? I had already drawn a particular range where my buy stop and sell stop will not come anywhere close to, right? So I've made a couple of bucks, but right now I'm on a drawdown, but I'm still not closing this trade because I still expect price to go up. Now look at my drawdown. My drawdown went to minus 200 and something, right? But my margin is still there. I've already made profit, so my margin is increased. I had already made profit, so my profit plus the bonus that was added to the account, it's helping the my margin, right? It's helping my margin. So basically, we are still waiting. This pullback is becoming crazy, but at least around that area, I think the pullback is enough, and then it might start to go back up. That was what I was expecting anyway. I didn't expect the pullback to, you know, to come down that much, right? So I was waiting for it to. I was just hoping. I'm praying. I'd already made more, but I just kept. I wanted to scalp one more time, and it got me into this little trap. But like I said, I was targeting the untested words resistance, right? So I didn't close this trade. I didn't close this trade. A couple of my colleagues were telling me to close the trade, but I did not want to close it because you know, I based on the structure. I mean, we're in an uptrend. The news has come out, and it is clearly pushing US 100 upwards. So I knew it was just a matter of time. So it was all about patience. You know, patient. Just be patient and not allow the drawdown to rattle you. Don't be rattled by drawdown. Can you see my drawdown is now reducing from a drawdown of minus 200 and something thousand, it is back to minus 60 something. Everything's about perspective. Someone who's on the drawdown of minus 500,000, if the person should see minus 64,000, to that person, that's like a big relief, because of the amount of money that they have. But to another person that is on minus 62,000, the person sees minus 5,000, that's also going to be like a big relief, So depending on how much money you're trading with, how you're affected by the drawdowns is kind of different, right? All of a sudden, minus 37K is not too much of money, right? But for somebody else, it might be what they have, in entirety. So I was just waiting for the price to go up, and you can see what has been happening. Price is coming back up, and you can see what's happening on the 5 minute time frame. The price is retracing back up, right? So I was just waiting for the price to go above the buy entry so that I can quickly close the trade and secure my profit. I didn't want to close the trade here because I didn't want to lose the money I had already made. Although that was a risk anyway. But the risk I took was calculated because I knew that the price was still going to go up. So even though I was taking a risk, I was not just taking a risk blindly. I knew what was happening. I knew that okay, price is still going up, and there might be drawdown, from time to time, but you should be able to ride it out, knowing fully well that price is still going in that particular upward direction. So, like I said, we are just waiting. I was just waiting for the negative to turn to positive before I close the trade. And the reason I was waiting is because I knew that price was still going to do what? Go up. Okay? So you can see the negative is clearing. The drawdown is clearing bit by bit, moving between 25 and 36 or thereabout, but it's almost going to get into positive right now. And then once it changes to once the drawdown is overcome, I'll quickly close the trade. Okay, so price has come back towards my entry point, although I'm still losing, but very soon I expect it to get to the untested resistance, right? So you have to be able to withstand drawdowns like this. You have to be able to withstand drawdowns like this. At this point, this was like a trying time where I was seeing like a bearish candle, like maybe price was trying to retrace, but I was a bit rattled again, but I still stuck to my guns, right? I still stuck to my guns, and still was hopeful. I was hopeful, not just blindly hopeful, but I was hopeful based on the report I had gotten from Forex Factory, you know, on the weakness of the dollar, and I knew that okay, a buy is in the pipeline. So I was already buying. I had already made money from the buys. It's just that I kept entering more buys. Okay, as price is going up, entering more buys as price is going up is kind of risky, right? Same thing with price going down, because as price will go up and then at some point it is going to retrace, right? So right now my drawdown is getting smaller now, minus 16, minus 14, which is good. I was still advised to close the trade here, but I mean, I couldn't have come here now and start closing the trade, so I just had to wait for um once I just see any positive, once the minus goes out and I just see positive, I quickly, wow, now you can see, aha, yes. So I closed my trade in positive, and before you knew it, price there retracing again. So I was right on time, right? You can see how price is going back down. Right. I still expect it to go up anyway, but I didn't want to lose the money I had already made. In trading, don't just focus on profit. Before you focus on um, making money from trading, you need to be right with the drawdown aspect. So you can place a trade and the trade is going to be on drawdown, but you know that the trade is supposed to go in this direction. That should help you know whether you want to close that trade or you want to ride out the drawdown until price starts coming back in your favor. Okay.